Alright guys, we're looking now at popular professional studio microphones. So first we're going to look at a dynamic microphone. Dynamic microphones thus are microphones that convert sound into electrical signal by means of electromagnetism. They fall into two categories, moving coil and ribbon microphones. Moving coil microphones are often preferred for use on stage because they are quite sturdy and do not require external power. In the studio, engineers prefer condenser microphones, or in some cases ribbon microphones, which are less robust but offer a superior sound reproduction. And here we have a coil from, looks like to be a Shure SM57 that we'll now look at here. This is a dynamic microphone, a Shure SM57. Produced in 1965, the SM57 is regarded as one of the most versatile microphones ever made for both the live and the studio application. For its cheap price point of 150 Australian dollars, it is one of the top selling microphones in the world. Its features include a cardioid pickup pattern, a frequency response of 40 Hz to 15 kHz. It takes high SPL levels, and it's fantastic for capturing loud sound sources and close micro instruments. It is ideal for recording snare drums, guitar amps, or heavy rock screaming vocals. It can also be really good for acoustic guitar for making it sit in the mix. Similar to the SM57, its brother is the SM58. The SM58 is another workhorse microphone popular for vocalists on stage in the live environment. It has the same capsule as SM58, however has a pop shield, which reduces plosives for vocalists. Its features include the same pickup pattern, SPL and frequency range of the SM57. The SM58 has been generalized for capturing vocals, while the SM57 is for instruments, but these can work both either way as they essentially work as the same microphone. Next we're going to move on to the AKG D112. The D112 is a fantastic microphone for capturing low-end instruments, which are loud sound sources in themselves. Its features include large diaphragm cardioid pickup pattern, a frequency range of 20 Hz to 17 kHz. It can take extremely high SPL, up to 160 dB, and is ideal for recording kick drum, bass amp, and floor tom. It's also quite an affordable price range, so $350 to $450. Another dynamic mic is the Sennheiser MD421. The MD421 has become one of the most well-known dynamic mics in the studio for recording toms and close miking loud instrument sources. It is also great for recording guitar amps or vocals due to its clear sound reproduction, rugged performance, and effective feedback rejection, which makes it also a fantastic microphone on stage. Its features include a 5-position bass roll switch, which is located at the bottom here, a frequency range of 30 Hz to 17 kHz, and a cardioid pickup pattern. Here we have the Shure SM7B. The SM7B dynamic microphone. It has a smooth, flat, wide frequency range response and is appropriate for music and speech in all professional audio applications. This microphone was also used in many classic vocal recordings, such as Michael Jackson's Thriller. I can also say it's very common for a lot of metal vocalists, such as James Hetfield, or anyone who's doing screaming vocals or growls. Its features include a wide frequency range response for an exceptionally clean and natural reproduction of both music and speech. It has a bass roll-off switch down the bottom, and it's got a mid-range emphasis presence boost controls with a graphic display of response setting. It's a large diaphragm cardioid pickup pattern. There's a full frequency range of 20 Hz to 20 kHz. It's first introduced as a broadcast mic, and it was very popular for radio and voiceovers, and later on made its way into the studio. It's designed for vocals, hi-hats, and recording guitar amps. It's a very good popular microphone. And we have the Electro Voice RE20. The RE20 has made its way from broadcast studios into the pro studio due to its ability to capture loud instruments and vocals exceptionally well, which, as we said, was very similar in terms of the SM7B. It contains a heavy-duty internal pop filter for close-in voice work, while an internal element shock mount reduces vibration and induced noise. Its features include a voice-tailored frequency response, a bass roll-off switch, we see over here. It's got a cardioid pickup pattern, and has a frequency range of 45 Hz to 18 kHz. Now let's look at some condenser microphones. So while dynamic microphones are popular for stage use, due to their rugged construction, condenser microphones have always been the preferred type for studio recording. A condenser capsule is constructed similarly. It consists of a thin membrane in close proximity to a solid metal plate. So when sound hits the diaphragm, it moves back and forth relative to the solid backplate. Condenser microphones therefore require 48 volts direct current of external power, which we call phantom power, in order for them to operate. Here we have one of the most popular studio condenser microphones in the world, the Neumann U87. The U87 is regarded as one of the best studio microphones in the world, and it is a benchmark for all large diaphragm condenser microphones. It is equipped with a large dual diaphragm capsule with 3 directional polar patterns: omnidirectional, cardioid, and figure 8. Its features include a clear, detailed sound reproduction of acoustic sources, a negative 10 dB pad, it's got low self-noise, and multiple polar patterns. It can handle up to 127 dB, which is not ideal for close miking loud sources. Its frequency range includes 20 Hz to 20 kHz, and it's quite an expensive microphone with a price point of around $3,000 to $4,000. It's ideal for capturing vocals, acoustic guitar, piano, drum overheads, and room mics. It's a great all-around studio condenser microphone. Also have the Neumann TLM 102. So Neumann are known as one of the best microphone companies in the world, and the TLM 102, although it's one of their cheapest microphones, it still delivers amazing quality that has found its way onto countless records. Its finely tuned sound signature especially accents around the 8 to 12 kHz range, which is crucial for human voices. The microphones get a silky elegance, which is typical for large diaphragm microphones. The voice gets a noble presence in the overall mix. The features of this microphone include a built-in pop shield. It's got a distortion-free sound, even at extreme sound pressure levels. It's got a cardioid pickup pattern and can take a max sound pressure level of 144 dB, so it can handle extreme loud sound sources. And it has a frequency range of 20 Hz to 20 kHz. Then we have the AKG C414. This is an incredible all-round versatile microphone in the studio for its ability to pinpoint the correct polar pattern. It's got features include a high-pass filter and a decibel attenuation, a flat and detailed frequency response. It has the ability to be used on almost any application depending on the job required. Its features include incredible dynamic range of up to 152 dB, 9 selectable pickup patterns, enables to choose the perfect setting for every application. They include Omni, a wide cardioid, hypercardioid, and figure 8. The 3 switchable different bass cut filters and pre-attenuation levels, low self-noise, fast transient response for large diaphragm condenser, and this microphone is ideal for recording acoustic guitar, overheads, guitar amps, and vocals. Then we have the Rode NT1A. The NT1A is a cardioid condenser microphone and has become an industry standard for delivering the warmth, extended dynamic range, clarity, and high SPL level typically found on some of the most expensive microphones in the world. It is known as an affordable microphone that has made its way into many home studios. Its features include an max SPL of 137 dB, a frequency range of 20 Hz to 20 kHz, a cardioid pickup pattern, it has wide dynamic range, and it is also known as the quietest studio condenser mic ever made. It's a very cheap microphone for its quality, as it rocks around under 300 Australian dollars. It is ideal for recording vocals, acoustic guitar, piano, strings, or room mics. Then here we have a small diaphragm condenser microphone, also known as a pencil condenser. This is the Neumann KM184. The KM184 is known to be one of the most popular high-end pencil condensers for the studio. These mics are ideal for capturing instruments with high frequency detail and quick transient response, such as cymbals, acoustic guitar, or hi-hats. They can also be a great option when recording in stereo to capture an ensemble, such as a choir or a string quartet. Its features include a cardio pickup pattern. It has very low soft noise, can take up to 125 dB SPL, frequency range of 20 Hz to 20 kHz. They are lightweight, so they're great for putting up in the air on stands, and they're ideal for recording drum overheads or cymbals, hi-hats, piano, and they are also perfect for stereo microphone configuration. Now we're going to look at some tube condenser microphones. This is the Neumann U67. It was introduced in 1960. The U67 was a quintessential studio workhorse throughout the formative years of modern music. Today, more than ever, its smooth sound continues to be in high demand. Its features include a clear, detailed sound reproduction of acoustic sources, a negative 10 dB pad, low soft noise, multiple polar patterns, handles up to 124 dB, which is not ideal for close miking really loud sources. It has a frequency range of 20 Hz to 20 kHz, and it's a very expensive microphone. It comes at a price point of $12,000 to $13,000. It's ideal for capturing vocals, acoustic guitar, piano, drum overheads, room mics. It just sounds fantastic on most sound sources. Then we have the Sony C800G. It's an industry standard for recording pop vocals over the last 25 years in major recording studios. This is a tube condenser microphone, so it requires a separate unit to be powered. The tube produces a warm, rich, and pleasant sound characteristic that is different to most condenser microphones. They can be highly expensive and highly desirable. The features: extremely expensive, over $10,000, which is similar to the U67. It's designed for no compromise sound capture. It's excellent choice for vocals, voiceovers, and acoustic instruments. Its frequency range is 20 Hz to 18 kHz. Its pickup patterns include cardioid and omnidirectional, and this is a large dual diaphragm capsule. Now we're going to have a look at some ribbon microphones. A ribbon microphone, also known as a ribbon velocity microphone, uses a thin aluminium of electrically conductive ribbon placed between the poles of a magnet to produce a voltage to make electromagnetic induction. Ribbon microphones are typically bidirectional, meaning that they pick up sounds equally well from either side of the microphone. The diaphragm is attached to a light movable coil that generates a voltage as it moves back and forth between the poles of a permanent magnet. In ribbon microphones, a light metal ribbon is suspended between the poles of a magnet. They are prized for their ability to capture high frequency detail, comparing very favorably with condenser microphones, which can sound subjectively aggressive or brutal in the high end of the frequency spectrum. Here we have the Audio-Technica AT4080. The AT4080 is a fantastic ribbon microphone for capturing loud sound sources, aiming for more high-end detail and clarity than a dynamic, but more warmth and a smoother top end than a condenser microphone. And for some applications, it can provide the best of both worlds. The features of this microphone include a side-addressed bidirectional active ribbon microphone, which because it's active, it requires phantom power, like a condenser microphone. It has a smooth, warm, and natural high-fidelity sound for professional recording, broadcast, and sound reinforcement. Its frequency response is 20 Hz to 18 kHz. It has 150 dB SPL, which is great for loud sound sources, and is ideal for recording guitar amps, horns, drum rooms, or vocals. Next, we have the Royer R121. Like many of the best classic ribbon mics, the R21 has a figure-8 pole pattern, output level comparable to a dynamic microphone. It has very warm, realistic tone and a flat frequency response. It has a high SPL capabilities of up to 135 dB. It has no internal active electronics to overload or produce distortion up to the maximum SPL rating. It has extremely low residual noise, 30 Hz to 15 kHz frequency response, and is ideal for recording cranked up electric guitars or close-up brass instruments and drums. Then we have the Coles 4038. The Coles 3048 originally made its name into broadcast circles, but has since become one of the most sought-after ribbon microphones for studio recordings. Used extensively in classical music too, the Coles 4038 has a dark and rich character, capturing low frequencies with exceptional accuracy and warmth. Its features include frequency response of 30 Hz to 15 kHz. It is bidirectional. Inside has a pressure gradient transducer ribbon. Can take a max SPL of 125 dB, and it is ideal for recording drum overheads. Then we have a very old ribbon mic here. This is the RCA 44BX. It was produced from 1932 to 1955. It is perhaps one of the single most recognizable ribbon microphones and is something of an icon in the world of broadcast and recording history. The 44BX is a high-fidelity bidirectional ribbon microphone designed for music recording and broadcast. It was used by many jazz singers from the 1950s to 80s, such as Frank Sinatra. Its features include a super flat frequency response of a range from 50 Hz to 15 kHz, and is perfect for a vintage style recording or anything you want to sound old school.